Have you ever cut a paper towel roll in half? I'll show you why you absolutely should. The size of each piece will depend on the size of the container you're using, and I'll explain that in more detail in a moment. Next, remove the cardboard tube from the center. You can usually do this by gently bending it back and forth and then pulling it out. It comes out very easily. And that's it for the first step. Now let's prepare the solution. Take a bowl and add some water. I'm using 400 milliliters of water. You'll also need isopropanol, also known as rubbing alcohol. Add 2 tablespoons of it to the water, then add 1 tablespoon of dish soap, which is enough for this amount. If you like, you can also add a few drops of an essential oil of your choice for a pleasant scent. Mix everything together thoroughly. Now go back to your paper towel roll and place it in a container that fits it properly. That's why it's important to cut the roll to the right length based on the container you're using. Slowly pour the mixture over the paper towels until it's fully absorbed. Once that's done, you're finished. You now have homemade cleaning wipes. Put the lid on the container and keep it in your kitchen. Whenever you need to clean something, pull from the center of the roll and tear off a sheet. Each sheet will already be moist and infused with the cleaning solution, making it easy to wipe down surfaces and leave them clean in no time. You should be especially careful if you ever notice a plastic bottle stuck to your car tire or the tire of another vehicle. I'll explain why this is important, because incidents like this are becoming more common around the world. An ordinary plastic bottle is deliberately wedged between the tire and the car body, and this is part of a scam used by thieves. This trick allows criminals to gain access to your vehicle and steal valuables, or in some cases, even the entire car. Most often, the bottle is placed on the passenger side, where you're less likely to notice it as you approach your vehicle. You get into your car, start the engine, and begin to drive away slowly. Suddenly, the bottle makes a very loud noise because it's trapped between the tire and the car body and starts moving around. Naturally, you stop and get out to see what's wrong, and that's when you spot the bottle. At that moment, you may have already left your car unlocked and running. Your belongings could be visible inside or even within easy reach. This creates the perfect opportunity for thieves to step in, steal your valuables, or drive off with your car without you noticing right away. That's why it's so important to stay alert and pay close attention to your surroundings. If this ever happens to you, or if you notice a plastic bottle stuck on someone else's car, be cautious. After I discovered this trick, my house started smelling like a rich man's home. I'll use a container and add coarse salt, filling it almost to the top, just like I'm doing here. Once the ideal amount of coarse salt is added, I'll add 2 tablespoons of alcohol and mix everything well. Remember, the alcohol is responsible for spreading the fragrance throughout the environment and also helps repel insects. Before I forget, tell me which city you're watching from so I can send you a big hug. After mixing, I'll add the fabric softener, which is the main ingredient of this tip and fully responsible for the clean fragrance. Ideally, add enough fabric softener to cover the coarse salt. You can choose the scent you like best, or even use different fragrances for each room in your home. After learning this trick, I improved every room in my house, and I'm sure you'll be surprised by the result. Every visitor will ask what the secret is to having such a wonderfully fragrant home. I use this tip in the kitchen, living room, especially in the bathroom, and it can also be used in the bedroom, always bringing the scent of clean clothes. It's very simple, low cost, and keeps your home smelling good for many days. Even after cleaning, I continue using this tip to extend the feeling of freshness. For up to 30 days, your home will stay pleasantly scented. It's also perfect for homes with dogs, as it helps neutralize pet urine odors. You'll thank me later. I'll add a few cloves. They also help release fragrance throughout the home and enhance the overall scent. Just placing a few cloves in different areas already makes a noticeable difference. Tell me if you've ever used cloves in cleaning tips. They're always useful in many recipes. Have you ever put salt in your refrigerator? I'll show you why you absolutely should, because salt in the refrigerator has 2 direct advantages. The first is for your vegetables. If you store vegetables in your refrigerator, you naturally want them to last as long as possible. It doesn't matter if it's cucumbers, tomatoes, eggplants, carrots, or anything else. With salt in the refrigerator, you can ensure that they stay crisp and fresh for significantly longer. All you need is a small amount of salt. Grab a dish sponge and put some salt on top. It doesn't need to be a huge amount. A spoon or two is perfectly sufficient. Take this sponge and place it in the refrigerator, ideally near your vegetables. The salt draws moisture from the air, which the vegetables can no longer absorb. This keeps all your vegetables fresh and crisp for much longer. But as I said, salt also has a second advantage. It can also remove bad odors from the refrigerator. You don't even have to throw away salt from the fridge afterwards, because you can still use it for cooking and seasoning. Have you ever heard of the Japanese gift wrapping trick? It's currently taking the internet by storm because it can help you save a lot of wrapping paper. Here's how it works. As you can see, when I place the gift on the paper and wrap it the usual way, the paper is too small and there's still empty space in the middle. But with the Japanese trick, that won't happen anymore. It also has another advantage, which you'll see in a moment. To start, place the gift at a slight angle so the corners point toward the sides of the gift instead of directly to the corners. Then pull both corners over once. If all 4 corners of the gift are covered by the wrapping paper, the size is perfect. Next, take the first corner, run it along the edge, and secure it in the middle with a piece of tape. Gently press one side inward and pull the next corner up, making sure it lines up perfectly flush with the side of the gift. You can still make small adjustments by pressing the paper inward or pulling it outward. Keep doing this until both sides are perfectly flush. Then run along the edge again and secure it with another piece of tape. Now turn the gift and grab the next corner. Once again, gently press inward, pull the corner up, and adjust until everything lines up evenly. Run along the edge and secure it with a small piece of tape. There's only one side left. For this final step, press both sides inward at the same time and pull up the last corner of the wrapping paper. Make sure both sides are flush, then secure the top with a piece of tape. The special thing about this method is not only that it saves wrapping paper, but also that all the tape is placed on just one side of the gift, the underside. When you turn it over, you won't find any tape, and all the corners are perfectly flush, giving you a truly flawless wrap. I'll show you the Japanese trick to fold any t-shirt in just 2 seconds. Pay close attention. I'll explain it slowly so you can understand it clearly. Right here, between the collar and the sleeve, you need to use the middle part as a reference, this spot I'm pointing to. Make a line until the bottom part of the t-shirt. Okay, you've got it. Now, we'll make another reference line with our fingers in the shape of a cross. Remember, you don't have to do this when actually folding the shirt. This is just so you can better understand the method. Now, at the point where both lines cross, hold that spot with your fingers. With your other hand, hold the area near the collar where we made the first line. Lift that part and move it over the other hand without letting go until you reach the other end of the line where the seam ends. Then, lift the t-shirt without releasing any of the points you were holding. It's almost done. I'll turn it here so you can see it better and place it on the table. And just like that, the t-shirt is folded quickly. Have you ever put a match in coffee grounds? Stay with me, because this simple trick does something most people would never expect. Take a small glass bowl or any heat-resistant container. Add 2 tablespoons of dry coffee grounds. You can add more if your container is larger, but don't overfill it. Now grab a wooden match and carefully cut the stick in half. Push the lighting end of the match straight into the coffee grounds so it stands upright. Next, light the match with a lighter. The flame will only burn for a second and then go out. But don't worry, this is exactly what you want. The coffee grounds will continue to smolder slowly and release a steady stream of smoke. That smoke works as a natural repellent that drives mosquitoes and other flying insects away almost immediately. What makes this trick so effective is that the smell from burning coffee grounds is unpleasant for insects, but barely noticeable for humans. You can use this method both outdoors and indoors. I use this regularly in my living room and kitchen, especially in the evenings. And honestly, since I started doing this, mosquitoes are almost never a problem. Have you ever put 2 sponges in the detergent dispenser of your washing machine? I'll show you why you absolutely should, and what the benefits are. Over time, the detergent dispenser in most washing machines gets quite dirty, and many people don't clean it regularly. If yours isn't looking very clean either, you'll definitely want to know this trick. It's super easy. Take a dish sponge and use scissors to cut it in half. I'll show you exactly how to do it so you can get the dispenser really clean without having to take it apart. Next, you'll need one simple ingredient: apple cider vinegar. Vinegar is great at loosening and removing built-up dirt. Put some vinegar on the 2 sponge pieces. If the sponges aren't fully saturated yet, let them sit in the dispenser for a few minutes so they can absorb the vinegar properly. This helps soak the dirt and allows it to almost dissolve on its own. After that, use the sponges to wipe the dispenser thoroughly, making sure to clean all the sides, the back, and even the top edges. This will leave your washing machine's detergent drawer sparkling clean again. And the best part? You don't have to take anything apart or wipe it down afterward. The vinegar isn't harmful to the washing machine and will easily rinse away during the next wash. I think we all love the tasty foods that come in jars, but many people struggle to open screw-top lids. Today, I want to show you a really cool way to open a jar like this. Honestly, I was quite surprised when someone showed it to me. Everyone knows that to open this kind of lid, you need to let air into the jar. There are several ways to do this, but the most common method is to bend the edge of the lid using a knife or a fork. The problem with this approach is that there's a high risk of chipping the glass, and small pieces of glass can end up inside the jar. The advantage, however, is that the lid stays intact and can be reused. There's also a less gentle method: taking a knife or fork and stabbing the lid. In that case, the lid is damaged and can't be reused. Now we come to the method I really want to share with you. If we look closely at the structure of the thread on the lid, we'll notice that each turn goes upward, and there's a point where the distance between the edge of the thread and the rim of the jar is the widest. This detail is the key to opening the jar. So, take the jar, clasp your hands together around it, and press. Did you hear that? The jar is open. 5 seconds. That's all it takes. It just works. If you don't hear a click when you press, it means air didn't enter the jar. In that case, rotate the jar about 10 to 15 degrees. That simply means you didn't hit the widest space between the thread and the edge of the jar. Try again. Let's test it with this other jar. The process is exactly the same. And the jar's open, friends. That's the super method.
Have you ever heard of the Japanese cube freezing trick? It's currently taking the internet by storm because it can help you save money on your electricity and time in the kitchen. Let me show you how it works. Normally, when you fill a standard ice cube tray with water and place it in the freezer, the process takes a long time. It also uses more energy than you might expect, and in the end, you're left with a relatively small number of ice cubes. This is the method most people use without realizing there's a more efficient alternative. That's where the Japanese trick comes in. With this method, those problems disappear. Plus, there's an extra benefit you'll notice right away. To start, simply take a zip-top bag and fill it with water, just as you would when filling an ice cube tray. Make sure to seal the bag tightly so no water leaks out. Next, place the bag in the freezer and leave it there for 1 hour and a half. The exact time may vary since not all freezers work the same, but you'll notice the water freezes much faster than in a traditional tray. What makes this method special is not only that it helps reduce freezing time and energy use, but also that you can create a large amount of ice at once. Once frozen, remove the bag, cover it with a towel, and gently hit it with a mortar's pestle. The ice breaks apart into perfectly sized cubes. Now you have plenty of ice ready for your next party or drink.